And blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning at KIDO Talk Radio. Thank you all for joining us. Do want to thank EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt for joining us. It was an honor to have him on this program, and we will talk more about that coming up. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. By the way, if you did miss that promo, if you did miss that talk, make sure you check that out at KIDOTalkRadio.com. Let's go to Eric in Kuna. Eric, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio.
Hey, morning, Kevin.
How are you, Eric?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really liking your show. I haven't signs that say basically kind of like we can kick you out of the store if you give us a dirty look or any reason. Doesn't that apply no matter what? And on top of it, if somebody doesn't want to bake the cake, wouldn't they want to take it to another bakery that'd be happy to bake it? Right?
See, Eric, this is what it comes down to. You have the right to refuse service. You have a right to do a lot of things in America today, but the left doesn't want you to have rights. The left wants to take you down, and the left wants to make sure that you either go along with them, you're either indoctrinated with them, or you're out. And that's really what it comes down to. You're out. You're done. You're fini. And if you don't go along with what they do, then you're in big trouble. That's really what it comes down to. And you have Mr. Phillips in Colorado who said, you're not the boss of me, leftist. You're not the boss of me, the libs, and I'm going to stand up for you. Now, a lot of people don't have the power or the financial means to do it. And that's what the libs and that's what the government is counting on. The government under Obama. Very different under President Trump. And by the way, you get a demerit for not listening every day, Eric. I understand you have a life, but, we're relying on you to listen.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. I love listening to your show. And, yeah, totally. And if you look at it even in a different light, they're really a bunch of kind of just crybaby brats that kind of never got any discipline. They probably had yes parents, and they grow up, and here they are making millions of dollars, kneeling. They're showing us exactly what they stand for. They stand for desecration. They stand for every single thing that is exactly wrong on what they're oppressed, and what are they protesting? The people in the 60s, the hippies in the 60s, at least they had a reason. At least they were out there with a purpose to protest. What are these guys protesting? Oh, we're taking a knee because a black man got arrested. Give me a break. Actually statistically more white people get shot by cops than black people. So, you guys are taking a knee. What they need is some knee pads, and they need to, they need to start a little show. They can call it the NFL View, and they can wear knee pads on their show, and they can tell everybody what their butt hurt about and how offended they are, and wah. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous.
Well, but that's just how it is today, I guess.
Well, we can't stand for it, Kevin, and you don't stand for it. We're wrong when we call out these people and say, you know what? I don't really care if you're offended. If you don't like it, turn around, turn the channel, walk the other direction. If you don't like those 10 Commandments in that park, in that city-owned park, well, you know what? You don't have to stop and read it. You can walk on past it. But no, they don't do that. You know what they do? They act like little offended brats, like little bratty kids that never got any discipline, and here they are adults still needing discipline. You know what I mean?
I agree, Eric. Thank you for the call. We appreciate you, brother.
Oh, we appreciate you, buddy. Love you, buddy.
Love you. Take care.
Thanks for everything you do, man. You're the greatest. I'm telling you, you're the greatest radio show. My favorite radio show. George Norrie, he's all right. He's kind of the corporate decision. Kevin Miller, he's straight up saying it how it is, and I know you're not really worried if somebody gets butt hurt there in the higher ups. You're gonna, if they don't like it, well, then they don't have to listen either because everybody else loves it. So, anyway, love you, buddy.
Love you, Eric. Thank you. And good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio, live with Kevin Miller. Who's this?
Well, buenos dias, senor.
Oh, Liberal Steve. Good morning.
God, who's that Yahoo childish, high schoolish little baby boy you just had on
That
the
was
air
Eric,
forever?
and Eric's a great guy. By
Yeah,
the way,
Eric
hold on.
sounds
By the
like-
way, but before we go, the cash code word today is splash, Liberal Steve. Can you say that for me,
Oh, okay.
splash?
How do you spell it?
SPLASH.
Well,
Yes, splash.
Flash some of that on your face. God, I tell you, and they keep repeating these talk shows all across America, keep repeating the same thing over and over, day after day. And then whenever Trump makes a stupid mistake, like about the Eagles, who never took a knee, about coming to the White House, totally mixed it all up. And America just, the deplorables out there are still just saying, hey, the king's got clothes on, by golly, just, boy.
Well, look, Donald
Come
Trump
on.
has beaten the Eagles. He's beaten the NFL. And shame on the NFL for being a bunch of dummies. And shame on the sports radio people that are a bunch of libs as well going, well, you just can't do it. Look, the president and LeBron James and Steph Curry, we don't want to go there anyway. We don't want to go to the White House. Well, what type of an American are you that doesn't want to go to the White House?
You don't even love America, Miller. I mean,
What are you
look
talking
you
about?
put
I
in
don't
the
love
White House.
America.
Look what you put in the White House. Good God, an idiot who loves himself and nobody else.
Who did you vote for?
It's none of your business who I voted for.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I
Who'd you
voted
vote
for I voted for Donald Trump.
Well, good for you. You know, it's funny. The owner of your media there didn't vote for Trump.
The owner of my
He
media
voted
there?
for Hillary.
Who's that?
Yeah, that 38-year-old or 40-year-old that owns not the airways, but owns your station.
There's a 38-year-old person that owns my station?
Well, what's the name of your broadcast company?
What? Town Square Media.
Yeah, Town Square Media is owned by a young guy.
No, it
He owns
isn't.
stations all across the U.S.
It's a public company, you nitwit.
Well, of course it's a public company, but it's owned by one
okay.
man.
So at 580-5436, 580-KIDO, what are you saying?
I'm just saying you get people on like
Eric is a
you
great
asked me-
man.
you
Eric
asked
is
me
a
what I'm-
great man
you
and
asked
has
me-
the correct opinions.
You ask me what I'm saying, and then you interrupt me when I go to tell you what I'm saying.
Well, because you're not saying anything. You're talking, but
Oh,
you're not
God.
saying anything.
You know who you remind me of? Joy Behar.
Oh, my goodness.
She just lives in her own little world. Makes comments left and right and then tries to back them up, and it doesn't make any sense. Day to day, it doesn't make any sense, but people enjoy it.
See, here's the skinny on this. Donald Trump stuck up for the American people, stuck up to the NFL, and they don't like it. They don't like it that America would rather listen to Donald Trump than hang out with the NFL people.
Well, they can't help but listen to Donald Trump. He's in the news every single day.
Donald Trump is the voice of America. And it's like
Donald
this.
Trump
It's like
is
Scott
the
Pruitt.
voice-
Here, let me finish. Scott Pruitt, who was here yesterday, the EPA
Yeah, Scotty
administrator,
Pruitt.
how should I put this? A cabinet level officer chose this program, this audience. He didn't speak to anybody else. He didn't speak to anyone else. Do you know why? Because this audience is the most trusted by the administration to represent America. He didn't speak to the digital publications, didn't speak to the mamby-pamby, Rudy-Poo television stations, didn't speak to anybody else. He spoke to our place. Do you know why? Because he got a fair, open, honest, and balanced interview.
Like, bring my furniture back. It's just what I'm saying.
And see, folks, this proves my point.
This
We
proves
tweeted
my
out
point,
yesterday. We tweeted out yesterday something. You would not believe the vicious attacks on me, on America, on you for having Scott Pruitt on this show. He's a great man. He's an accomplished person. And when you're at that level, that's the highest level of government. That's the highest level of industry. And you are the very best. And to have somebody like that on this program is great. And for the 30 people that protested, get a life. Get a life.
Yeah. Would you just tell us what were some of the vicious attacks? Read them to us.
Oh, I could go on and on and on, but I will not give them the time of day. I will not dig. Dude, I had 100 notifications where people were just attacking, resign, do this, do that.
Well,
the petty Neanderthal. Hold on, the petty Neanderthal adolescent progressive vibe, because that's the only thing they know. They can't debate logic. They can't debate logic. It's just like this conversation with you. You can't debate us logically. So what do? You attack us personally. But you know something? We shall overcome.
You sound like an Irish mother-in-law. That goes around saying, "I could tell you stuff that'll curl your hair," and they never tell you. But by God, they could. And that's what you're doing about your tweets. I could tell you. Put them on. Let me see them.
What do you mean? Let me see them. You know something? Kevin Miller Show on Twitter, and you can see all the notifications.
I don't have Twitter, Miller.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm not hooked into the cyborg digital world like you are. Yeah, you're a cyborg. If you can't get by without your digital world, you're a cyborg.
Right.
You depend on it.
Not
your
really.
livelihood, cyborg.
Let's see.
Really?
Here you go. Here's one from some nitwit. You hey Scott, any comment? Scott Pruitt used his government position to try to score his wife a Chick-fil-A franchise. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Amazing that the king of the swamp oversees our country's environmental protection and the public allows it. That man is a scoundrel and environmental predator. You know something? Like I said, this is what they do. They can't debate facts, so they attack us personally. And look, I am so proud of this audience. I am so proud of the honor that we received. More proud than receiving the Marconi, prouder than anything that we've done, that we had the ability. We were honored to host a member of the president's cabinet. Have you hosted the member of the president's cabinet? No.
When I look in the mirror,
you didn't make the cut. Well, you're part of this program, so I guess you did.
Well, anyway,
people say, here's another one. Here's another one. They omit this, that he ducks questions. He was here for almost 20 minutes answering every question by Idaho's most accomplished journalist, Kevin Miller.
Hey, Miller, don't say that. I was just on the other side of the podium watching.
You were.
And he walked away from the question.
Yeah, sure you were.
Hey, did you call me a liar?
I don't see you.
Well, there's a lot of things you never see.
All right, Liberal Steve. By the way, are you the postcard? Are you the postcard man? Everybody thinks you're the postcard man.
All right, Nazi Miller.
Are you the postcard man?
What's a postcard man?
The postcard man is someone who continues to send us postcards. So, surprised you haven't gotten one.
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to waste a stamp on you, that's for sure.
I love this. The protesters, 30 people, boo-hoo-hoo.
Thank God for the protesters and the protesters that started this country, that protested against the British.
We'll protest against you. How about that?
You make me sad when you talk like that.
Oh, we lost him. Kevin Miller in the morning. Phone number is 580-5436. 580-KIDO. By the way, it's just funny. You look at this and people are protesting the EPA director being here. It was a great move. It was wonderful. It was very, very humbling to have this thing. He met with Governor Otter. They're getting rid of some unneeded regulations, and we move on. Phone number's here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Time for the Kevin Miller scorecard. Who's winning? Is it President Trump or the NFL? I'll explain next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Well, the environmental wacko activists are at it again. They're upset. Scott Pruitt comes to town. Do they really even know who Scott Pruitt is, the EPA administrator? Probably not, but, somebody, George Soros, sent out the alert. Remember in the old Super Friends, the trouble alert, if you will, boop, 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 boop. And boom, 30 liberal activists come down. Is it really worth covering that the liberal activists came down and said, oh, our waterway's this, our waterway's that? Crazy, isn't it? We'll get into that. 580-5436-580-KIDO. And maybe, Ray and Maya, maybe today or tomorrow, if we get a chance, maybe we'll rerun that interview in the 6 o'clock hour, Thursday or Friday, just because it's so, I just thought it was good. And it, again, shows the respect that the administration has for you, because this program is you. Okay, do you love America? Very simply, LeBron James, who we kind of go back and forth on. Look, a lot of people don't like LeBron James, but the kid donated $41 million to educate kids in his hometown of Akron, Ohio. Of course, he's a progressive, but there are good people that are progressives. LeBron James talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and the White House and their invitation and everything else. And I love what the president did. Look, we're going to have a patriotic event. We're going to celebrate America, and the NFL, the athletes, you're not the boss of us. This is what LeBron James had to say. And if you don't know who he is, he's the biggest basketball star since Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
It's typical of him. I'm not surprised. It's typical of him, and I don't know. I mean, I know no matter who wins this series, no one wants to invite anyway, so it won't be Golden State or Cleveland going.
Right, because Golden State is so wonderful, Cleveland is so wonderful, they would turn down a trip to the White House. Now, if you listened yesterday or to Mike Miniger earlier this morning, how many people would pay to go to the White House, would pay to be honored by the administration? You know what I mean? 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Dave.
It's every Gabbard.
And Kevin Miller in the morning here. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Now, we have a lot of people that are from the state of California, and you'd like to know who won the primaries last night. Did the Libs continue their domination of the once Golden State, or did the conservative resistance fight back? Well, look, we're really not into the state of California, but we have a lot of people that are here, and we welcome them to Idaho as long as they change their plates and they get rid of their Golden State liberal progressive ways. Then, yes, we would love to have you here. Here's our own Rachel Sutherland with the latest on the California primaries.
Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom will take on Republican businessman John Cox for governor this fall.
Mark my words. I've never backed down from a fight.
The Progressive Democrat says Cox is a foot soldier for President Trump. Cox had the backing of the president.
It wasn't Donald Trump who made California the highest tax state in the country. It was Gavin Newsom and the Democrats.
Californians also voted to recall Judge Aaron Persky, who sentenced Brock Turner to only 6 months in jail for sexually assaulting an unconscious woman outside a frat party. Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
Thank you, Rachel. 628, Kevin Miller in the morning. Let's go to McKaylee in Cuna with Kevin Miller. Good morning, McKaylee.
Hey, Kevin. In reference to LeBron James, the remarks he made yesterday, he's nothing more than a spoiled brat. That's all he is. That's all these athletes are that make the remarks that they make in the manner that they make them. They are there, yes, because of talent. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much money they donate. They represent the city they play for, and they ultimately represent the country. And you can't show 1 ounce of respect. They're not worth my time of day. And, just like the Eagles, it doesn't matter if they were standing or not. The simple fact that they made the remark that they did, we don't agree with the president about standing for the flag. I mean, come on. 1 ounce of respect. That's all really America asked for. That's really all us veterans asked for, 1 ounce of respect. That's it. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. You're doing a great job, Kevin. And as far as liberal Steve, you don't know your head from a hole in the ground. So anyway, stay safe. God bless America. Love you guys.
Love you, McKaylee. Thank you, and thank you for your service, sir. We appreciate you, and we appreciate all the men and women who have served our great nation. Coming up next, remembering a day that changed the world, right? D-Day. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And the attacks continue on the administration. We proudly support the president We proudly go to make sure that we take care of those people that love America. And by the way, if you're having some issues today, we apologize for that, for the technical problems. We're doing our very best to make sure that you're good to go. We appreciate you listening. We know you have a lot of choices each and every morning. Remember your chance to win Kevin Miller's cash here at KIDO Talk Radio. Listen at 6:05 and 8:05 and 3:05 with Sean Hannity. We would love for you to win that money, and going on and on and on. You know, it's unfortunate, the world that we live in. And Glenn Beck was talking a little bit about this yesterday. Of course, when you listen to Glenn, you got Stu, you got Pat. It's a kind of a morning zoo, if you will, from 9 to 10 on KIDO Talk Radio if you're new to the area. So they were going on about Bill Clinton and Clinton's non-apology about Monica Lewinsky. And Clinton's doing this book tour with James Patterson promoting this book, and it's just turned into a disaster. Well, here you have Stephen Colbert, again, another lib, another example of the morally corrupt, contaminated Hollywood elite, Bill Clinton and James Patterson, joking about the whole thing. And remember, we're living in the Me Too movement, right? We're living in the Me Too movement. We're living in the moment where, you know, you're guilty until proven innocent. Let's see if Bill Clinton is repentant.
Yesterday morning, I noticed you didn't enjoy that entire interview. I want you to enjoy this one, but I do want to ask you something, which is, when I got home last night, on the CNN, they had a lower third banner that said something about William Clinton's tone-deaf response to the question from the Today Show. My question is, would you like a do-over on that answer? Do you understand why some people thought that was a tone-deaf response to his questions about the Me Too movement and how you might reflect on your behavior 20 years ago and how that reflection may change based on what you've learned through the Me Too movement?
And sitting next to Bill Clinton is poor James Patterson, thinking to himself, why didn't I do this with George Bush? Why didn't I do this with Bush? We wouldn't have had these questions. It would have been a lot more of a friendlier press corps. Well, not Poppy Bush, because he admitted to grabbing some people in their fannies, their derrieres. And again, you know, that's Poppy Bush, George H.W. Bush. He apologized for that. No, he was sincere. Bill Clinton, unrepentant concerning Monica Lewinsky. And if you don't remember this, if it was before your time, I know we have a growing number of young conservative people listening to this program. You can always YouTube this stuff. You can always Google it. It was a big point in American history where you had a president impeached not for his sexual predatory actions in the White House, actually in the Oval Office. Boy, aren't our founding fathers proud, but for perjuring himself. And he was a lawyer. He got disbarred for it. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah, you know, when I saw the interview, I thought that because they had to, you know, distill it. And it looked like I was saying I didn't apologize and I had no intention to. And I was mad at me.
Well, you said in the interview that you did apologize. You said you apologized in the interview.
I did. And they showed a film clip finally. But here's what I want to say. It wasn't my finest hour, but the important thing is that was a very painful thing that happened 20 years ago, and I apologize to my family, to Monica Lewinsky and her family, to the American people. I meant it then, I meant it now. I've had to live with the consequences every day since. And I still believe this Me Too movement is long overdue, necessary, and should be supported.
Right. He apologized to Monica Lewinsky. I don't remember that apology. By the way, there's a book called Death of American Virtue that I highly recommend. It gives you the complete side. It's written by a law professor from Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Just a fascinating read. It's probably in softback now, softcover. And you know, how many of us have time to read? But if you do, if you're going to the beach, if you're not going to the beach, if you're just staying home, it really takes you into that world a fascinating look at what happened between Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and Ken Starr and how it all played out. It was remarkable. Just a point of fact that they were monitoring Monica Lewinsky, and I guess she was at Union Station or a mall, something like that, and the agents seized her, and for so many hours they wouldn't let her talk to an attorney, and this, that, and the other, and they didn't want to tip off Clinton. It was really, they should make a movie out of it.
I did. I meant it then, and I meant it now. I apologize to my family, to Monica Lewinsky and her family, and to the American people. I meant it then, and I mean it today.
Sure, right. There we have it at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. They continue to go after Trump, but if they go after Trump, then they've got to go after Bill Clinton. And the libs, the progressives, are so intent on getting Donald Trump that they are going to do their very best to throw Clinton under the bus, right? So Clinton goes down, blah, 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 again and again and again. Clinton has to be sacrificed. Clinton has to be sacrificed to make sure that they get Donald Trump. And by the way, they are not winning on this. The NFL is not winning on this, right? None of these folks are winning on this because Donald Trump, as we've said, you can call it the Patriot Ray Doctrine. He speaks the language of all of us. Whether you agree with him or not, he speaks the language of the people. They're tired of these mamby-pamby, Rudy-Poo athletes that feel pampered, that feel entitled. And look, here's another one. You know, everybody is talking about the Eagles and they didn't kneel. Are you telling me that you're so pampered, you're so spoiled, that you can't stand for the national anthem? You have the audacity to defend it. And the NFL better watch out because the NFL receives a huge tax subsidy by the government. They get the status of being in a monopoly. And that very easily, anytime the NFL gets out of hand, Congress and the administration can pull that tax-exempt status, which would not be good. So here we have Shepard Smith, you know, kind of the odd duck of our Fox News family, covering the Celebration of America event. And, of course, just like all the libs, all the progressives, Shep has to give the other side of the story. That's where everybody else is, the other side of the story, right?
We stand to support, we stand to salute, we stand in the absence of the Philadelphia Eagles. But the thing is, the Eagles stood as well. It is the reporting of Fox News that every Eagle stood at every game, every time. None knelt. The president says only a small number of Eagles players was going to show up today, so he canceled their event. He also claims the Philadelphia Eagles disagree with him about standing for the national anthem. The truth is, as I mentioned, the entire team stood for the anthem every game last season. After the president scrapped the team's event, the former Eagles wide receiver Torrey Smith tweeted as follows: "So many lies, shake my head. Here are some facts. 1, not many people were going to go. 2, no one refused to go simply because Trump insists folks stand for the anthem. And 3, the president continues to spread the false narrative that players are anti-military. Some athletes have knelt during the anthem to protest police brutality against minorities and racial injustice. President Trump has criticized players who kneel, calling them SOBs and urging the NFL owners to fire them."
Yeah, see, there you have it. Shep Smith trying to play the liberal provocateur. And apparently he does. I love this, how everybody's standing up for the Philadelphia Eagles. Look, you don't want to go. Most of America believes that if you're not going to stand for the national anthem, if you're not going to honor the administration, then you get the boot. And people are tired of, again, athletes that are overpaid, that, you know, get a huge benefit, not respecting the very people that continue to support and make America great again. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think, well, the Philadelphia Eagles were right. The president was wrong. I'm not sure about that. I think that the president did the right thing. And for many years we've heard, well, we've just got to take it. No, we don't have to take it anymore. And what Donald Trump is doing is giving the rest of us cover. For 8 years, we were marginalized. For 8 years, we were held captive by President Obama and his crew. Now you have President Trump making America great again.
Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. I want to thank the United States Marine Band and the United States Army Chorus for that incredible performance. Their voices, oh, I'd love to have a voice like that. What a voice. We love our country, we respect our flag, and we always proudly stand for the national anthem. We always will stand for the national anthem. It is my great pleasure to welcome everyone to the White House for this patriotic celebration. Beautiful, beautiful day and a beautiful celebration. I also want to thank our great Vice President, Mike Pence. Thank you, Mike, for joining us, along with Secretary Stephen Mnuchin, Secretary Ryan Zinke, Representative Lou Barletta, who hopefully Lou Barletta will be your next senator from the great state of Pennsylvania. It is a great state. Representative Mike Kelly, thank you, Mike. Great to see you. I want to take this opportunity to explain why young Americans stand for our national anthem. Maybe it's about time that we understood. We stand to honor our military and to honor our country and to remember the fallen heroes who never made it back home. We stand to show our love for our fellow citizens and our magnificent Constitution. We stand to pay tribute to the incredible Americans who came before us and the heroic sacrifices they made. America is a great nation, a community, a family, and America is our home, and we love our home. And our country has never done better than it's doing right now. Never. Record numbers at every outpost. You take a look at what's going on. Lowest unemployment numbers we've had. Lowest African American unemployment in the history of our country. Lowest Hispanic numbers in the history of our country. Lowest numbers for women in 21 years. We've created $7 trillion of value in our country since the election. We're the largest economy in the world and getting a lot larger and fast. It's happened very quickly. Actually, quicker than I even thought. We're doing great. And all of those people that we honor, many of them are looking down right now. Some of them are right here. But many of them are looking down right now at our country, and they are proud. They are very, very proud. So we stand together for freedom. We stand together for patriotism. And we proudly stand for our glorious nation under God. I want to thank you all for being here. This is a beautiful, big celebration. Actually, to be honest, it's even bigger than we had anticipated. So I want to thank you very much, and God bless America. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
God bless you, Mr. President. Let's go to Doug in Mountain Home with Kevin Miller at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning. Yeah, Kevin, I don't know how to say this, but that Eric guy this morning, how come I can't hear this on the radio?
What do you mean?
I don't hear I hear the radio on, but all I hear is you. Usually I can hear it. Yeah, now I can. Okay. Anyway, Eric hit it right on the head with the whining. I mean, them guys, just like when the next caller was Steve, liberal Steve. I mean, what more can you say? It's just exactly what Eric was saying. I mean, they're just spoiled brats. And, man, I hope this political part this year we win it. I really do. I'm not counting my chicken till it's hatched. And I think Trump's doing the right thing with the NFL. I care less. I hope it goes broke. I don't watch this stupid stuff anymore anyway. Anyway, keep up the good work. I'm happy this morning, especially when I heard liberal Steve call in whining. All right.
All right, Doug, thank you very much. Kevin Miller in the morning. Coming up next, your thoughts. Do you believe the NFL or do you believe Donald Trump? Of course, the media, thankfully, gleefully taking the side of the, you call them what you want, the Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. We take the side of America. What about you? 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. And blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller here at KIDO Talk Radio. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. And the war on all that is good, all that is right continues, but we've got cover now. We've got the president. Case in point, on CNN, you have April Ryan and Don Lemon and the Wolf Blitzer hailing people for going after the president. Let's take a listen. By the way, it's so funny that you have CNN, owned by Time Warner, owned by DirecTV, I think, talking about fake patriotism. Don, what have you ever done for America? What is any of these so-called NFL folks espousing their own brand of patriotism? What have they done for America on this anniversary of D-Day?
Just to get more of that in the briefing room, April, following up and getting an answer. I absolutely applaud you, and I think all of the folks in the briefing room should do exactly what April did today. Challenge the podium and the White House more, because they go from one reporter to the other. When they don't like the answer, they cut them off and they move on to the next person. And April, you didn't allow it, so thank you for doing that. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Thank you, Don. Well, Wolf, it was an interesting exchange. First of all, we've been in that briefing room for many, many years, for decades. And strategically, Sarah did not want to call on me today. And I listened to her calling people all around me and in the back and the front.
And this isn't about some fake patriotism, about standing or some pageantry. Real patriotism is understanding what the Constitution means for all Americans and abiding by the Constitution, not...
Thank you, Don Lemon. Traffic and weather together at KIDO Talk Radio. Kevin Miller in the morning as we continue on. More of your phone calls. By the way, it is a local newsless Wednesday, so we're going to be back in about 3 minutes. But Julie, Marlon, and Liberty Linda, we want to give you as much time as possible, so if you can hang on, we'll be back in roughly 4 minutes. We want to make sure that we get your thoughts. And then I do want to talk about today's America versus America in 1944, when we're talking about the Band of Brothers, when we're talking about we're talking about those people that sacrificed. Very different. Entitlement versus sacrifice. A tale of two Americas. That's coming up next. Also, Fox News, your home for Fox News in the Treasure Valley, is right here on 580 AM, 107.5 FM, KIDO Talk Radio. And don't forget, each and every morning at 6:05, 8:05, we give you the cash code words, win Kevin Miller's cash. And in the afternoon with the great American Sean Hannity at 3:05. We're just getting started. Won't you join us? Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning.